The following program contains adult language, poor taste in jokes, racial slurs, political slurs, slants, and all sorts of things that, if you are sensitive and have a delicate constitution, you should probably go watch Teletubbies. You were warned.
I ain't drunk, I'm just drinking.
But you're so high.
Oh man, you know I ain't high.
But you're so high.
Yeah, well I just take a little sip every now and then.
But you're so high.
You ought to be ashamed of
Stay
yourself.
drunk all
Oh,
the
come on now,
time.
you all don't feel like that.
Bam! Hey kids! Happy Monday night! Welcome to Monday Night RotoRant. Woo, buddy! It has been, holy moly, it has been a long weekend, but a very good weekend. I took Friday off, and my son, my beautiful little boy, got married on what day? Saturday. Yeah, he got married, and he's 24. I've got two very little girls, and I got my big boy. And so that wedding was great. We went up, we had a good time. And I took an extra day, and my smoking hot wife, and bam, here's a picture of her. She and I took 3 days, and we have not been away from the kids in 5 years. Well, I should say she hasn't been away from the kids in 5 years. And literally, my oldest daughter's 5 and my youngest daughter's 2. And she's never been totally away for 3 days. So we had an absolute fucking ball. We took off. We went to a really nice Mexican lunch. The first day, we had these margaritas the size of your fucking head. Then we went to a winery up in Northern Ohio. Then we went to another winery in Northern Ohio. And bought a bunch of wine up there, which I love wine. It's good stuff. And then we went back home to Indiana to my home turf and saw my family, my son, obviously, and his bride and everybody, and some of my family from Chicago, which was really nice. And we just had a fucking ball. It was great. And we had a hotel room, and it was just her and I. Ooh. And you just saw the picture, so, you know, do the math. Very, very nice. So, yeah. And then today, Monday, you know, did some work and just got done mowing the lawn, which I despise. You know what's really funny is when I got divorced, there was way back when, in like 1999, there was a few things I vowed to not do again, and I failed. One was I was never going to shovel snow again, ever. Fucking hate it. Number 2, I was never going to rake leaves again. And number 3, I was never going to have a lawn and have to do yard work again. So when I got divorced, and I was divorced from 99 to 6 years ago, and I kept true to those. But now I do mow. I have a riding mower, and but I still don't mow or shovel snow, and I still don't rake leaves. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad. So anyway, it was a great weekend. It was fun. This isn't really so much a rant as much as it is a bunch of stuff coming up and stuff that we've done. Did the what is it? The maiden flight of the new wing, the AR wing, went really, really well, even though I could not see. And I had to do the VTX, which was one of those AKK 800 VTXs, piece of crap. So I couldn't fly FPV. It was all line of sight, but it turned out really well. I did return to launch. I did everything. You know, it has iNav in it, and it flew awesome. Hopefully this week I'll get a new VTX in there and actually do some FPV. I think I'll actually be able to fly the damn thing, so that was kind of fun. What else did we do? Oh, my buddy Maui, who is in Hawaii. He's Hawaiian. I built him a Mocha JJ because he wanted one. And we call it the Lava Edition. Check that shit out. Bam! Very cool. I popped this together this afternoon. It took about, I don't know, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that. But anyway, Mocha JJ frame, Foxeer micro arrow, you know, all the usual stuff, HDLRC, and we're running the Tornado 4100 kV 1407 motors. All I gotta do is dial it in, pop it in the mail, bam! That's going out to Maui. This is the Lava Edition. It's very cool. Hydro dip, obviously. So, lots of stuff coming up that's going to be fun. Like I told you guys the other day, I think I said I'm going to take a break from building. And obviously I just built my buddy this bird. And this bird was actually supposed to be mine. But then he bought it. So now I'm building myself another Mocha JJ. No big deal. And then I decided I had a couple weeks off from building, so I'm going to build another bird. So my brother, FPV fanatic in the club, who is Wes, I said, dude, I'm bored with everything that's out there. What should I do? And he goes, do a taco frame with the butter whisk motors. All right, cool. So I did. I ordered it, and here's what we got. Check this. Oh, hang on. Yeah, okay. So what we got the taco frame. This is a 5-inch, very sweet. I haven't even pulled it out of the package yet, amazingly, because usually I build stuff the second it shows up. Very nice, chamfered edge, 5mm, 3-point motor harness there, 3-point on the arm on the inside. Set frame nuts, which are preset, which is nice. It's very similar to a campfire quad, campfire frame, I should say, which is like, in case you guys are just tuning in, that's what a campfire frame looks like. I absolutely love them. Campfire and Mocha are my two favorite bird manufacturers. But this one's looking pretty sharp, So I'm going to do a build overview of this once it's done. It's going to be sharp. I'm going to show you what everything's in it. There's the canopy, pretty wicked looking bird. They even give you the flight antenna tubes, which I like, battery strap, motor guards, which are, you know, useless. But just to make it even more fun, we are putting a Helio Spring FC in it, and we're going to be running the Odin special firmware that just got released. We're going to run the Hollybro BL Heli 32 35 amp ESC. I haven't even opened this thing yet. Let's have a look. This is going to be a bad bird, kids. Let me tell you what. Oh, looky. Wow, that's sharp. Interesting. I like it. So we're going to put that in there. It's going to be nice. Helio Spring, and then the butter whisk motors. Check it out, guys. What are these babies? Doesn't even say. It just says Butterflight. But they are nice. Looks like silver windings. Blah, 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 blah. Gonna be a sharp bird. And then obviously the Fox Ear Micro, which is what I always use. That might even be a Predator. Micro Predator? I don't know. Might be. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So that's going to be badass. Might pop that together tomorrow. Pretty simple. I need to drink my Roto Twister. It's humid and hot as shit out here. 100 proof Sailor Jerry's rum, a third lemonade, and a little bit of strawberry Kool-Aid. And that's just fucking forget about it. It's awesome. So, one of the other things I wanted to talk about, we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. So, go make some popcorn and have a Roto Twister. I put up a review yesterday. Well, not really a review, more of a bitch of the AKK VTXs. And as you guys know, I build a ton of birds. I think we added it up. It was like 200 last winter, or 150 birds last winter. But, as you guys know, I sell most of those. And I love building birds for friends. Love it. I don't really love building them for myself because I've got my 20 birds that I fly 2 of. And, it gets boring. But when I'm building it for somebody else, it's really fun because you put a little bit more heart into it and whatever else. But anyway, get back to the point. I've built 1 billion birds, right? And I've had really good luck. I mean, when you consider how much I've built, and I talked to other guys in the club, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I had this show up and it was bad, and I had this show up and it was bad." I don't have those problems. 9 times out of 10. I mean, once in a blue moon, I'll have a little smoker here or there, but 9 times out of 10, I've got really good luck, except for those frickin' AKK VTXs. So I put up that rant last night about how I had 3 of them, and poof, 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 they just sucked. One was missing, one blew up instantly, and one lasted like 3 flights. And I had a lot of people say they had good luck with them, and I had a lot of people say bad luck with them. So if you guys are watching this, chime in. If you've used those AKKs and they're good, let me know. And if you've had a bad experience, let me know. But anyway, here's something that's interesting. I put that video up, and then this morning I wake up and I check my Patriot Blades email, and there is an email from AKK. Amy, I believe, over in China or wherever she's at. And I was actually pretty shocked. And she's like, hey, and I'm not going to go through the whole email, but she's like, oh my gosh, sorry, you know, blah, blah, blah. We want to make things right. We want to send you 3 new ones. Would you please take down your old video? Well, that becomes a moral thing for me, because as we know, I am not a review channel. I am not sponsored by anybody. I do not have affiliate links with anybody. I am beholden to no one. If I think something sucks and I've had bad luck with it, I'm going to tell you guys. I started the YouTube channel a year and a half, 2 years ago, solely for some friends. And that's the way it stays. I just have more friends now. That's all it is. It's nothing but good times, bullshit, drinking, and birds. I mean, that's just what it's going to be. So I told this lady, and she was very cordial, very nice. And I said, look, I really appreciate you reaching out to me. And I think that's great customer service. Just the fact that I put this video up tonight and you guys have already searched your name on YouTube, found a bad review, contacted the person that reviewed it. I think that's phenomenal. I think that's really good customer service. And she's like, would you, take that video down? We'll send you 3 replacements. I said, here's what we're going to do. And I told her this. I said, here's my address. Feel free to send me 3 new ones. That's great if you want to. If you don't, that's fine too. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to test those on the air, meaning I'm going to make a video. I'm going to test these VTXs in front of you guys. We're going to hook them up to my super duper funky buddy builder thing. We're going to hook them up to that. We're going to test, make sure they work, make sure they don't go up in smoke, all 3 of them, okay? And I ordered the Immersion RC RF, what the hell is it called? I wrote it down here. RF Power Meter V2, the new one that you can detect power and all that stuff. I'm going to test these VTXs via video, and so you guys can see what all 3 of them do. I don't know what they're sending me, if they're sending me direct replacements of what I ordered or prototypes or whatever it is. But either way, we're going to test them. And I told her, I was like, I'm going to test these. I'm going to do a special video for you guys. If all 3 of them rock and roll, now honestly, they're probably going to be cherry picked. That's fine. If all 3 of them rock and roll, bam, I'm going to review them. And it's going to be hopefully some good PR for your company. And I wish you all the best in the world. And I will say, hey, these are great. These 3 are great. And then I'm going to order a couple more off of Amazon, and I'm going to test those. And we're going to see how they hold up. Because obviously, if you're getting direct shipment from the manufacturer, you've got to watch out for cherry pick, what we call cherry picked products. And it's like, okay, we're going to make sure these totally work. Now send them to JJ RotoGeek. But either way, it's going to be interesting. So I got this RF meter coming, and I'm really psyched about that because everything else in the business is pretty easy to figure out. A good motor is a good motor. A good battery is a good battery. You don't need to buy a $3,000 fucking battery tester to figure out your lipo's decent. Bardwell. Things like that. But VTXs, it's a little bit more of a mystery, and I want to know my VTX 02s and some of the other things that I use in VTX 03s. I want to, and any of my friends, be it in the club or on the channel, because a lot of people on the channel send me stuff every week. I fix it for them. I send it back just because we're buddies. If you guys have any VTXs that you use, if you want to mail them to me, I will be glad to put them in that test video and test them and send them right back to you. So I think we're going to start a big thing. Just which one has the best power? Which one really says, yes, this one is 800. Yes, this one is 600 milliwatts. And that, I think that's really cool. So I bought this tester, and I think it's going to be a really advantageous, to you guys and me, just to see. I'm not going to do super boneheaded scientific stuff. I'm going to turn the fucking thing on and say, yep, look at that, bam, it's good. And then one of my guys in the club sends me this thing. Bardwell does a video on an AKK was 1200 VTX or something. I didn't watch it, but he sent me the link to it, and look at this. But he does that sometimes. It's like I'll do a video, and if I beat him to something, he'll do one the next day. He did that last week too with something. Whatever. There's no competition. He's obviously a reviewer, and I am not. I'm a builder, and he is not. So trust me, watch some of his build videos. Anybody who does a video on the tape that you need, the only tape you need is Captain tape and double-sided tape. There. Video over, Bardwell. Sorry. Do not use this shit on your bird. God, drives me nuts. Anyway, enough of that. So that's coming up. And that VTX tester should be here this week. And one of the things I want to test is some of the VTXs that I have, because I've got some brand new ones, but I want to test those brand new ones against ones that I've had for like 6 months. see if there's a breakdown. I think that'll be pretty interesting. And a lot of the guys in the club, we always talk about VTXs. It seems like that's one of the main sources of topic. So yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. Another thing that's coming up, and I told you guys this was coming up. Oh, check that out. How cool is that? My boat. As you guys may or may not know, when I was a kid, I was always fascinated with things that fly. But when I was a kid, back in the 80s or whatever, I was born in 74, they didn't have anything but airplanes that flew. And they were nitro. There was no electric. And I was not good. Trust me. I'm still not good. You know, whatever. So and I was born and raised on a lake. So my buddy Mike, Motor Mike, who's in the club, he's in California. Great friend of mine. I build him stuff and he gives me stuff. I give him stuff. And, you know, it's just, we're just like everybody else in the club. We all share. And, he heard me talking about it's like how I love boats, but now I lived in bumfucked Ohio where Jesus lost the sandals nowhere, and we don't really have a lot of water around here. But I still go back home to Indiana, and my mom still lives on the lake that I was raised on, you know. And I was just being nostalgic one night about boats, and I said, "Yeah, I used to build nitro tunnel runner like the Piranha and the Miss Budweiser, and what else did I build back then? The Wildcat." There was a bunch of boats. This is way back. Most of you probably wouldn't know. And so he's like, dude, I have a boat and I want you to have it. And he has two, actually. And one was nitro, one's electric. And I said, nah, I'm not going to take a nitro boat for free, dude. That's awesome of you, but I'm not going to do it. So but in the process, I was building him a headhunter that was really, really cool. And I said, I'll tell you what, though. I'll knock a bunch of money off the headhunter, knock it in half or whatever. And so we swapped, kind of. And it came today. Check this out. Bam. Hang on. I probably can't get this whole thing in shot, so I'm going to take the camera off. There she is. How cool is this? Okay. Now, this is not the Miss Budweiser that I built as a kid. The one I built as a kid was a birch plywood kit back in '88, and it had a, what did it have? A 0.45 inboard motor. And blah, blah. And this is a fiberglass hull. Very, very cool. Absolutely awesome. Unfortunately, it got damaged in shipping. See that? Got a bit of a hole. Kind of split. Not good. But that's okay because I am a fiberglass guy. I used to do tons of work on sport bikes as a hobby back in the day with fiberglass, and I was kind of looking for an excuse to strip this anyway and make it something RotoGeek. And so what we're gonna do, let me show you the guts of this thing. And a lot of the guys, I talked about this a couple weeks ago. My buddy Mikey sends me this thing, and I love it, absolutely love it. And he was so distraught. And Mike, please relax. He was so sad that this thing got damaged in shipping. And I told him it's not a big deal. I can fix that. You will never even know it happened. It'll be fine. I'm a fiberglass wizard. I have tons of experience with that. So that's not a big deal. So I was originally going to hydro dip it, but then I got thinking, it's like, this is going to be a real pain in the ass, this fairing in the back, and it's a lot of work. So, but my brother Lincoln David down in Carolina, he's the one who painted Patriot, the red, white, and blue headhunter. He's the one that's done my color transition paint jobs. He's my brother, great friend of mine. I've built him some birds, and he paints my birds. I do my own dips now, but he does all the paints. And I said, dude, I texted him today. I said, you want a project? And I sent him the pictures of this boat. And he's like, oh, fuck yeah. Well, he didn't say that. He's a little bit nicer than me. And he's all about it. So we're going to do a bitchin' custom paint job on this. So I'm going to do some body work on it. I'm going to fix this front end. There's some things in the back I'm going to fix. There's some things on the bottom I'm going to fix because it's had a little love damage. And then here it is, a nitro engine. Pull start, thank God, so we don't have to use the rotor starter. But it does have a belt drive for it in case you ever need to do it. Gas tank, all that crap. And I think, yeah, this thing's seen better days. We're going to do some JJ RotoGeek. Boats are my thing. I know boats forward, backward, and upside down. That's all I did as a kid. And I can't wait to do this again. I am so stoked. So thanks, brother, for making this. we're going to call this the Mr. Roto Geek or something. I don't know. It's going to be really, really fucking sweet. My brother Lincoln David's going to do a flake paint job on it, or whatever they call it, you know, where it's got the sparkles and stuff. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. But I asked a bunch of the guys on the channel, you know, I said this the other week or whatever. I said, do you guys want to see this boat series that I'm going to do? And I'm not switching over to boats. I'm not going to have 20 boats. Probably just this one, because I don't live around a lot of water. But I do go back home to mom's, and there is some water around, and I travel and whatnot. And they said, yes, do it on the channel, do it on the channel. Well, this is turning out to be a much bigger project than I anticipated, because I'm going to end up doing fiberglass work on it, some modifications. I am going to router out the windshield right here. We're going to put an FPV camera, or it's going to be right here, probably right here in the cowling intake. We're going to put FPV on this thing. Might change the radio. I don't know. We're going to rebuild the engine. There's little tricks I do to nitro engines to make them a little bit better. I'm going to fix the hull, fix the bottom. There's a couple little, just like I said, little war scars on there. I'm going to make this thing pristine, and then we're going to send it down to Lincoln David. Bam! And he's going to make this thing. I'm gonna get rid of the beer thing, because I don't drink beer anyway. Maybe he can put it the Miss Sailor Jerry's and put the sexy chick on the side or something. I don't know. But anyway, brother, Motor Mike, love it. Love it. And he was so distraught. He's like, dude, I can't believe it got wrecked in shipping. The thing was mint when I sent it. I'm like, fuck it, don't worry about it. I can fix that. You'll never even know it was broke. So that is coming up. That's gonna be a boat series. And I'll still be doing quads at the same time. I'm not taking like a huge break or anything, but it is nice to do something different. And I'm so familiar with boats. And I was actually kind of happy. And I know this sounds really gay, but I told my brother Mike, I said, don't feel bad. It's like, I built my brother Maui's bird, this Mocha JJ Lava Edition. I built this in 40 minutes today, start to finish. And it is done. Aside from just flashing butterfly to it, it is completely done. Building a quad is not a challenge for me. And it's not even, you know, I don't mind doing it for friends. I love doing it for friends. I have a lot of guys that send me their stuff and I hook them up. But doing a boat to me is a little bit more just, I'm not going to hurry up. I'm just going to take my time. I'm going to strip everything out. I'm going to take the engine out. I'm going to strip the whole thing down, clean it up, re-fiberglass it, do all this nice work to it, FPV it, all this neat stuff. And I'm going to do some beautiful footage for you guys. I might even strap on a GoPro to it as well when I'm flying around the lake. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be really cool. But I'm going to do a boat series of the JJ Roto Boat. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be really cool. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, my brother Patrick in Kentucky, he and I are getting together this week. And we're working out a swap. And he's going to hook me up with a P-51 Mustang fixed wing that is absolutely gorgeous. I cannot wait to get my hands on this bird. And I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to do a whole video on it, but I'm not going to fly it because I'm terrified to fuck it up. Because I want to practice on my wings, and we got to get this guy, you know, practice on that guy a little bit more. This P-51, we're going to do a swap. I'm going to swap on quad, and he's, you know, he and I are really good friends. I'm gonna give him a quad. He's gonna give me this P-51. It's absolutely stellar. It is so beautiful. I'll just hang it from the fucking rafters or whatever else. And then my brother, I'm gonna talk about this a little bit longer here, but my brother Kirk Carpenter, who's up near Toledo area, this guy, and I think I talked about this in a video earlier. He reached out to me a while back, maybe a month ago, and said, "Hey, my old man died, his father." And his dad had this whole barn full of RC airplanes. And he goes, and I want you to have one. And it's the first time this guy and I ever talked. And I told him, I said, oh my God, I'm freaking honored, you know. But you do realize I love airplanes. I love them in real life. I work in aerospace a lot. Aerospace and automotive are the two areas that I do robotically. And but even in RC models and everything, I love airplanes. But I'm not very great at them, you know. I can build them pretty well, but I just don't have a lot of experience with flying them. And he goes, no, he goes, because you have the passion and blah, blah, blah. You know, he's very complimentary. I'm not going to get into it. And I said, I would be honored. So what I'm going to do, we're going to hook up this week, hopefully. And he picked me out a bird, you know, a plane. and an extra set of wings. This is a real RC airplane, meaning his old man, his dad built it, skinned it, doped it, a real RC airplane. Not the styrofoam shit, not the fiberglass shit, birch plywood balsa, bam, 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 nitro engine, whole 9 yards. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to rebuild it. I'm going to restore this bird. Now, I'm probably not going to fly it. I told him that too. I'm not going to lie to you. I would be just shattered if your dad, this guy who he was part of a Michigan RC airplane club, he built loads of these planes, and I would be shattered if I destroy this plane, which we all know I will. Let's not be stupid, okay? And it's not like I can go out and buy a new fuselage for it or wing because this guy hand-built it. So here's what we're going to do with that bird, Kurt. We're going to do a special on the channel, and it's not going to be real long, I don't think, where we're going to rebuild it. We're going to go through the nitro engine. I'm just going to go through, I actually have a lot of experience with nitro engines, believe it or not, back in the day. And we're going to rebuild the nitro engine. We're going to polish it up. We're going to rebuild this bitch like the Enola Gay. And then I'm going to fire it up in the driveway. We're going to fire up that nitro engine. We're going to have all the servos. This thing's going to be 100% rebuilt. And then it's going to hang from my ceiling. I will not fly it. I'm sorry. I'm just... to me, that's like Patriot. Or it's even better than Patriot because it's a friend of mine's dad, you know, and it's... I want to rebuild it. I want to have it in beautiful shape. I want to hang it from in here in the shop, the JJ shop, and just adore it. That's what I want to do. And maybe someday if I get really good, I'll fly it. But I doubt it. Because those are just things that you just need to do. The other thing that's coming up is we're going to work on... Where is it? Hang on. Wait for it. You guys remember this. This is my folding quad drone, right? That we did the GPS drone with. I absolutely love this bird. It's a Mocha Deluxe. Turned out absolutely perfect. Returned to home, everything, all that good stuff. Well, my brother Patrick down in Kentucky, he gets this bright idea. He's like, well, we're going to do Connex Pro Sight. Because I have 2 of them, he says. I'm like, okie doke. So he sends me one. I know nothing, fuck all about Connex Pro Sight. But it's a digital DVR system, all right? And I think I touched base on this earlier at the different video. But it is fully installed on the GPS drone. Fully installed, fully functional, everything works. I just have not had a chance to go out and fly it. But we are going to do that. And I'm going to tell you the pros and cons of the Connex Pro Sight system. It's very expensive. It's very cool, but it's all in what you want. So there's a pro and con list to this. So it is installed. I'm going to try and do that this week. Okay. So the Connex Pro Sight is installed in this bird, and we will try to get that rocking and rolling for you guys. I think that's really about it. Oh, no, it's not. 2 personal notes. The people you meet, and you hear me say this all the time in my rants. I know this is going on really long. I'm going to try to shorten this up a little bit. My brother Graham in England, I believe, the UK, great friend of mine. And you should see the way we talk to each other. And I love you, brother. But we bitch slap and just tear each other apart on Hangouts. We just, what are you doing, you cunt? You know, and we just bitch at each other. But we're very close together, friends. And his son is actually moving from the UK to Detroit, which is just north of me by 3 hours, this winter, I believe, for business. And he's going to be here for a couple years. And I'm actually going to get to meet his son, because I go to Detroit like every week, and Graham is his name. And we're going to get to fly together, and I'm going to build him a bird. It's going to be really cool. But anyway, he wanted to share something with me, and I thought, this is really cool. I'm going to put it in my video. And here's the picture. Boom. Okay, that was the picture. Now, what this was, my brother Gray, he's out there flying with his buddy, I believe, and this little old lady shoots up on her little rover scooter thing, you know, and she's kind of like, what are you guys doing, you know, from what I understand. Nice lady. And he's like, here, put on my goggles. Wow. And he puts, and you saw in the picture, the she's wearing the Ayamways or whatever he's got. And he said it was the coolest thing. She was like, he was flying around the trees and she was like reaching out. Like, you know how you would like virtual reality, you know, she didn't really, because she's an older lady. She doesn't know what the hell this is. And she's like, I cannot wait to get home and tell my grandson that I flew like a bird. And she was all excited. And here's her picture. I'm just going to put it back up. And Gray, I want you to, I don't know if she can see this video or if you have her information, but tell her grandson, if you know, to watch this video. It's so neat I have never had a bad experience with other people in public. And I fly in pretty isolated conditions because when I travel, I'll go out and fly and whatever. And I usually pick like some lonely cornfield or somewhere out in the middle of fucking nowhere. And but once in a blue moon, I have run into a few guys. And one time I'm flying out, and I've never had a bad experience, not one. Not a cop, nothing. And I'm sitting out there one day, I'm driving, and usually what I do when I travel, which is a lot, I throw a bird in the back of the car, and when I get tired, need to stretch out, I'll unfold out of the car, bam, and I'll go flying. And one day I'm flying over this cornfield. It's the middle of fall. This is way back. It's like 2 years ago. And this old farmer cat pulls up, and he's like, "What are you doing, son?" And I told him, and I brought the bird in. You know, I didn't give him the goggles. I think I was flying line of sight that day, but I showed him what it was doing and all this other stuff. And he's like, "Wow, that's really neat." He goes, "You know, oddly enough, my wife," now mind you, this guy's in his 70s, "my wife would really be interested in this." And I'm like, awesome. But I gave him my business card, and I said, if she has any questions or wants to get into a starter little guy, have her give me an email, and I'll, my business card being my real job, not YouTube, you know, it's like, here's this robotic engineer guy. But I said, have her email me, and I'd be glad to help her out. And I never heard back from her, but I have met a few people that were just absolutely amazed by it. And the media hype is the media hype. The people hype is a whole different devil. But absolutely awesome. And Graham, I thought it was just absolutely great that Graham shared that picture with me with that old lady, because she's just like, you know, I can just picture her sitting in that little moto scooter thing and just kind of doing the hands, like wanting to touch the trees, because it's like a virtual reality thing. You know, think about it, guys. Think back to the first time you put on goggles and first time you ever flew FPV. It was pretty surreal, right? It was like almost like 3D and like flying in a movie theater or whatever. And can you imagine this lady, you know, she's in her 70s or whatever, and she's just flabbergasted. Absolutely awesome. Phenomenal. So share the experience is what I'm getting at, if you can. I always have 2 pair of goggles in my bag. I carry my Bosscam GS 922s, and I have my Ayamway Commanders. And if somebody does come along, bam. Or if you got one of these old, what is this thing? Eachine V008, which this is what I use for a bench tester. But this is great, you know, just for somebody to hold up and they can power this guy on, if it works, and they can see what you're seeing, and it really opens up people's eyes to why people like us are so obsessed with it. The addiction, the quad addiction, like I said before. So anyway, a lot of ranting. Not really ranting, all good stuff. Just stuff that's coming up on the channel, some good stuff, some different stuff. I am going to do an overview of this super bird that I'm building. Might be built tomorrow, blah, 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 might not. I build them pretty quick, so probably. We're going to do the boat build. We're going to do a couple fixed wing projects, like I said, and there's going to be multiple other quads coming through, as there always are. So anyway, guys, happy Monday. Have a great week. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bam! Keep shining side up.